You must be perplexed as to why you have successfully failed to grab that woman's attention, even though you are seemingly the best potential partner out there. Failing at dating and relationships has been so common in your life, but it must be hard to pinpoint what actually could have been wrong. Stay with me till the end, as I'm about to show you the harsh reality of chasing women effortlessly. It's not actually money or looks that keep a woman, but there are superficial things that hook a woman immediately. You see, it's quite common for women to treat some men like absolute trash while others are just kings of the dating culture. Why does this happen? Well, in this video, I'm going to reveal the truth and pinpoint those mistakes you have been making all along. Basically, I'll help you uplift from being that average Joe to a high-value man who women absolutely can never resist. So here are 7 reasons behind the dark psychology of ignoring women and why it will get them hooked on you. Be confident. Face the woman and let her know your intentions. Even before you master the art of ignoring women, the first step is to become true to your intentions. As a man, you must acknowledge your natural instincts to pursue women. A lot of men make this mistake. They don't want to recognize their desires and act upon them. They wait for the perfect opportunity to arise for them to approach women. That's only the pathway for a loser. A real man knows a perfect opportunity doesn't exist. He has to come forward and control his destiny. He creates opportunities for himself and knows being authentic to himself will lead to significant rewards. A real man knows it's better to live with rejection than with the agony of never taking chances to pursue her. Fear of rejection makes a man live in insecurity. He can never come out of that bubble. It's always the fear of no that makes him strangle in life. But that's not what a high-value man is afraid of. He is aware of both possibilities that may arise, but that doesn't stop him from being bold with his intentions towards her. He can learn from the mistakes of the past, but he may never get the missed opportunities again. So come out of the curtain and face everything confidently. It doesn't matter if things don't seem to work out as you want. A real man knows how to live past those negative emotions. Don't give her validation. As always, women are craving extra attention from men. They may never admit it to their face, but everything they do has the purpose of receiving appreciation from men. But in order to be validated, women need to put in that extra effort to earn it from men. Unfortunately, 99% of guys are just simping over her for her little attention. This creates an uneven situation where women have too many options to choose from, and she can easily cut that guy off if she doesn't find him attractive or if his mannerisms don't entice her. She has the authority to decide whether or not to give you an opportunity in her life. Thus, you'll always be treated like an option in her unending pool of interested men. If you follow the general rules of pursuing women at all costs, it's highly likely that you will be taken for granted. There will be little to no respect or appreciation for your efforts. If you want to change the dynamics instead, then go ahead and break the stereotypes. Don't be like the majority of the guys. Instead, you have to get a hold of the situation in which everything revolves around your own pace, not the woman's. For this, you can't help but upgrade yourself to the category of a minority of men. You are a high-value man who knows his worth and respects himself. You don't need to go after women for their approval. Instead, you should recognize that she is like any other person out there. There isn't anything special going on about her for you to lower your ground. You are the guy who values his own worth and doesn't depend on how much female attention he gets. A guy who knows to respect himself won't put efforts in vain into relationships if she doesn't show interest or there is no sign of appreciation towards you. This is a significant leap forward to get the woman hooked initially, as she'll get to see there is more going on in his life apart from going after women. She will ignite her desires to get a hold of your attention while also establishing respect for you in her eyes. In the beginning, she will probably get offended if you don't take the initiative deliberately. Your disinterest in making plans for a date or initiating a conversation might make her upset, but this is the only way it should be. Women have this instinct to put sheer loads of responsibility on men, but effort should come from both sides. As a high-value man, you must let her know she can't expect to act uninterested and make the man do all the work. If she has this tendency to shift her responsibility towards you, you need to set the boundaries. Let her know if she wants to get in contact with you, she's more than welcome to do so. But if she doesn't want to take any initiative herself and expects you to drool over her at every instance, she's more than wrong. If she isn't upfront about her desires for you as a man, you are respectful of her decision and won't bother her. She's not a superior being you can't live without, but you have a life to live, your goals to achieve, and priorities to pursue in life. When you are upfront about your availability, women tend to take this as a positive signal. They appreciate the fact that you don't live for them. They aren't the sole purpose of your life. You are content with your life choices. She is just a positive inclusion in your life. This will make her realize your worth, and she'll come to respect you more. So don't focus the attention on women. Focus on yourself, and she'll naturally be drawn towards you. Let her fascination grow for you. As a high-value man, you stayed up front about your intentions and didn't show further unnecessary interest towards her afterwards. This is something she's not used to experiencing. All this time, she has countless men begging for her attention at every chance. But what's up with you? Why are you suddenly acting so indifferent towards her? On top of that, you don't seem to be bothered by her negative answer. You don't seem to act miserable. In fact, you seem to live his life to the fullest. She wasn't someone unique in your life. When other men kept showing interest to date her, she will get perplexed with these thoughts. She will keep wondering what makes you so different that you don't want to pursue her as much. It's not like he's completely ignoring her or tries to cut off contact with her entirely. He just seems to be respectful towards her decision and maintains the boundaries she has set for herself. If she wants to approach him, he never denies her, but there isn't anything like trying to take advantage of this chance. He doesn't care to go beyond what has been set upon. This is so different from what she's always experienced. A real high-value woman will find this mannerism undeniably attractive. Her fascination towards you will only grow bigger from this point. She knows you respect her. You have a life that doesn't revolve around her. Yet you have romantic interest for her, but he's not acting cocky at all. Here is the harsh truth you must know at this point. Women are different in their nature after all. At this point, the woman who is mature and doesn't need a man's validation to define her worth will appreciate you and be interested in more interactions with you. But a woman who actually enjoyed that attention she gets from countless men will have a different purpose. She'll take this as a challenge and will try to win you over with everything she's got. But it's not because of her interest for you, but for the validation she didn't get. A high-value man must not surrender to her skirmishes. Remember, you deserve a high-value woman who is drawn to you, recognizing your worth, not because she wants that evil pleasure of triumphing over you completely. Ignore the latter kind for the better. Trust me, you will save yourself from lots of drama attached with unwanted trauma. Don't resort to mind games. The art of ignoring a woman doesn't mean not keeping any contact with her while you waste your valuable time on useless stuff. That gives a negative signal to the woman. She'll know you are playing hard to get, a game with her in reverse. As such, she'll never want to associate with someone who pretends to have a purposeful life, but in reality is just as miserable, if not more, as all the other men out there. Trust me, all her fascination for you will vanish in an instant. That only means, as a man, your only resort to attracting a woman's attention is to be focused on your life, focusing on your growth, your personality, and your overall lifestyle will make you deemed sexy to her. Her fascination will grow once she knows what an amazing person you are, more than she could have anticipated. Trust me, that hooks a woman. A man with high self-worth will focus on his personal growth. He doesn't have time for meaningless relationships or flirting. Rather, he utilizes this time to focus on himself. He is driven by the purpose of creating a life for himself that he can be proud of. He knows success won't come to his doorstep. Chasing some woman won't make his life better. He'll only end up reducing his self-worth. He values his potential. He knows there is more to life than getting women. He doesn't go for quantity, but for quality. And a woman who is of high value like he is won't be attracted if his life is a complete mess. Getting a woman who only has her eyes on you won't come easily if you don't possess the qualities she looks for. The first step is to get a hold of yourself. Take good care of your body, exercise, stay fit, eat healthy, keep yourself clean, study hard, and be financially stable. Basically, build a good life for yourself that you can be happy with. This way, you get to accumulate this positive energy in life while also getting the woman to come to you on her own. Don't create power imbalance. This is one of the most significant aspects of keeping a woman, or in other words, maintaining a happy and healthy relationship. You have ignited her interest. She has found you interesting. Now what? You guys decided to get into a relationship. This is where the difference between a real man and an immature guy comes in. If you want to have a healthy, meaningful, long-term relationship with her, then it's a must that she gets to have a place where her concerns are equally valued as yours. She'll feel home to be with you. Relationships that are based on neediness or emotional abuse will only produce negative emotions. So as a man who knows his worth, you aren't supposed to use manipulation tactics to get her affection to be long-lasting. That's not how it works. The art of ignoring a woman calls for rejecting unnecessary BS from her, which includes not rewarding any sort of bad behavior from her. A lot of men become so delusional that they start acting like a spineless guy who has to put up with every drama she puts on. Most of the time, they get entangled in disputes and pointless arguments that lead nowhere in the long run. If a woman has the habit of arguing irrationally with you on a regular basis, this is a great indication that she doesn't value you. You aren't someone whom she finds worthy enough to be respectful. At this stage, take a step back and be bold enough to let her know her outbursts have repercussions. You aren't someone who will tolerate these behaviors. If she doesn't value your efforts, then she doesn't deserve you. Take a hard stance here. Beta males normally make this mistake here, to get swayed by the female energy. They can't resort to any definite conclusion. In situations like this, practice the power of silence. When she's getting on your nerves on a regular basis and there's no chance of changing this behavior, the only option you have is to silently deal with it and, at the right time, take a hard stance. Don't get cocky or overly emotional at this point. That's a weak man's specialty. If she knows your weak spot, she'll immediately take you for granted while being reassured that whatever she does, you are willing to tolerate everything just to keep her. This negates a power imbalance in the relationship, with your woman dictating the dynamics. You become a pawn in her greater achievements, not someone whom she values being with. Remember, you are worth more than that. Don't settle for such a negative environment. You'll only lose yourself in the process. As a high-value man, you have natural integrity and follow your own resolve in life. It doesn't dwindle around her. You take control of the situation whenever you see this imbalance happening. However, you aren't going to do this to her in return. The main principle of a high-value man is not to force her to do certain things, but to make her convinced enough that she'll do so on her own. You aren't going to resort to verbal, emotional, or physical abuse towards her just to feel in control. That's a cheap, narcissistic way of dealing with problems. Instead, you will create boundaries. You'll restrict your availability, and you'll take a hard stance in logic to make her realize what she's doing is absolutely wrong, and she won't get her way with you putting on such BS. You master the art of getting her to deliberately realize her mistakes and come forward with a sincere apology for her willingness to fix everything up. That's a fundamental aspect of creating a happy and healthy relationship, which you have the ability to create and sustain. Great communicator. Listen to this very carefully, because I've seen a lot of men make this mistake. They don't know where to make a distinction and mix up everything. As such, they give up being great communicators for fear of being taken as the nice guy. Then they resort to the bad guy attitude. Behold, both of these are simply for immature folks. This stereotype of women never choosing the nice guy over the bad boy is actually true to a certain extent, but neither of these actually accounts for a high-value man. You stay in between these two extremes, which gives you complete control over the situation. What I'm trying to say is don't shy away from being a nice, helpful, and overall good person. But what makes you different from other nice guys is that you know where to set boundaries. To you, women are not superior beings who always need to be prioritized. You know where to be respectful and where to take a hard stance. The bad boys attract women initially, but soon enough she will get tired of putting up with his irrational demands and call an end to this. But your behavior, neither too demanding nor a spineless, submissive guy who values her, yet never goes out of his way to invade her comfort zone, will solely become perplexing to her. The more she gets to know you, the more she can't help but ponder what an amazing person you are who doesn't live for her validation. A mature woman who is highly selective with her potential partner will find you desirable, a perfect fit for you, and a high-value man. With this quality, you only attract women who are looking for high standards. You fulfill all their criteria for choosing a partner. They can't help but want to be in your company. That's how being great at communication helps. If you shy away or don't know what to talk about, she'll quickly become uninterested. You must know how to flow through a conversation, how to quench her curiosity, and how to keep her wondering. She'll be craving more of your personality, and you, the composed, dependable man, will have the authority to decide which direction you want this to go. What I'm trying to convey here is that you should be a very good communicator, but don't leverage your skills at every opportunity. You'll be taken advantage of if this is the case. But when you are selective in your choice of communication, you get to decide with whom you can open up. This is a very useful tactic that many guys fail to learn early on. They have to go through multiple ups and downs before finally getting it thoroughly. But as you are to be upgraded to a high-value man, you must know this instinctively. Don't live for her. Live for yourself. Men with high values aren't afraid of solitude. They know this alone time is solely for self-reflection in an attempt to be the best version of themselves. He knows he is worthy. His life is his own to live for, and no woman has the authority to take his freedom away from him. He uses this time fully to improve his flaws. No one is perfect, but the best is the one who recognizes his faults and makes a clear attempt to correct them. His sole motivation to go forward in life doesn't revolve around getting a woman. Rather, he has his own purposes he has to achieve. He constantly opts for being better. This is attractive to the right kind of woman after all. When she sees how amazing of a person he is aiming to be and the amount of effort he puts into achieving success, she'll be mesmerized. Your self-worth depends on the kind of person you are now and the one you are aiming to be in the future, not on your relationship status. Thus, you exude an alluring sense of confidence and completeness. Men with high values have a separate life apart from their social circles. He has a professional life where he exudes excellence. As your time is valuable, you are not available at every call from the woman. He doesn't cut off his schedule just to go on a date with her. No, you have more important things to focus on. If you make yourself available easily for women and don't care for other valuable aspects of life, it'll give her the wrong signal that your life revolves around getting her attention. She'll take you lightly and start to abuse you emotionally. That's not what a real man entangles himself with. When she sees you aren't someone whom she can easily manipulate, she'll exclusively know she needs to put real effort into this. She can't get your attention just by existing. Your time is valuable, and she has to earn it with effort. After all, you will also expect to be valued in return for valuing your lady. Let me know in the comments how you have applied these wisdoms in your life and how they have impacted your life. I encourage you to share your unique experiences throughout your dating life. Stoic knowledge is important for pointing out the unseemly mistakes you never knew existed. As you grow out of these restrictions, ultimately the pathway for being a better being gets created. Subscribe and hit that notification bell for more life-changing advice. See you in the next video.